Two 10-year-old girls go missing on their way to school in 1999. 3 days later, there is still no trace of them, and police are convinced the girls are dead. Suspicion quickly turns toward one of the girls' fathers after the public learns about his dark past and the unusual circumstances surrounding the death of the girl's mother. But the truth is far more disturbing. The father is innocent, and the man who took the two girls has been hunting other children, planning this for years, carefully outsmarting police at every step. What no one could have imagined is that the two missing girls would return from the dead, expose their kidnapper's plan, and finally bring him down. It's 1997. Charlene waits outside a social services office for her mother to come and pick her up. Her mother has struggled with addiction in the past, but according to the social worker, she's doing better now. Charlene waits, unaware that earlier that same day, her mother had tragically died from an overdose. When the truth comes out, the young girl is devastated. But not all hope is lost. While Charlene had been in foster care, her estranged father, Keith London, had been fighting to regain custody of his daughter. And so, just a few months later, Charlene moves to Hastings, England, to live with him.
I love Hastings. It's a great place to bring kids up. You got the sea, you got places like Fairlight and that outside, and it's a small town, you know, so it's great. I love it, I do.
Although life at home is beginning to settle, Charlene is still nervous about starting at a new school. She doesn't know anyone there. On her first day, she's terrified, especially when she realizes she's forgotten her pencil sharpener at home. She timidly starts asking around, when a girl with curly hair hands her one. She introduces herself as Lisa and says they should be friends. Charlene doesn't know it yet, but soon the two girls will be inseparable.
Two very sweet, lovely, ordinary girls living an ordinary, nice little life.
1 year later, Charlene and Lisa now walk to school together every morning. January 19th starts the same way it always does. They leave the house at 8:30 a.m. Keith, Charlene's dad, doesn't think twice about it.
And I thought it was safe enough to do that, to be honest. I didn't see no reason why not. They didn't even have to cross a main road to get to school. I thought it was totally safe.
But at 5 p.m., nearly 9 hours later, Keith gets a phone call that will change his life forever.
Yesterday morning, as usual, 10-year-old Lisa Hoodless walked up this quiet cul-de-sac to call on her best friend Charlene, who lives in this house. Around 8:30, both girls left the house for the short 5-minute walk to their local school. For reasons still unknown, they never arrived, and nobody who knows the two girls has seen them since.
The disappearance of the two young girls is taken seriously from the very beginning. As it turns out, the school never contacted Charlene and Lisa's parents when the girls were absent, and so no one realized anything was wrong until later that evening. Police immediately begin canvassing the neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking questions. But everywhere they go, they hear the same thing. Nobody has seen anything. The girls have seemingly vanished without a trace. Unfortunately, there's still no new information the following morning. Even worse, police are already behind. They didn't begin searching until 8 hours after the girls were last seen. Needing all the help they can get, police contact the media to spread the word and hopefully generate leads from the public. They also request that both parents make a public appearance. Though distraught over the girls' disappearance, the parents agree, knowing that if there's even the slightest chance it could help, they have to do it.
If you're staying away because you're scared or whatever it is, there's nothing to be scared of. You're not going to get told off. No one's going to get angry with you. Just come home.
Yesterday was a normal school morning. She says, I'm going to school now. Bye, Mum. Bye, Dad. I'll see you later. And that was it.
Meanwhile, the case is handed over to a senior investigator, someone tasked with reviewing every detail and piecing together what really happened to Charlene and Lisa.
My name's Jeremy Payne. In 1999, I was a detective superintendent, and I was also a senior investigating officer.
With Detective Payne in charge, the operation ramps up quickly. 70 officers are deployed. Dog units comb nearby woods. Helicopters scan the coastline. Volunteers sweep open fields. The search goes national, appearing in newspapers, on posters, and across television screens. Charlene and Lisa's faces are everywhere. Calls about sightings flood into the police station, but none of them turn into real leads. By the end of the day, hope begins to fade.
Evening of the 20th, we had massive resources in place. We've done a huge amount, and we still no further forward. And I'm starting to think, hang on a minute, I thought we were going to find them today. I was sure we were going to find them today. And actually, we haven't got any information which is really telling us which way to look, what has actually happened to these girls, and I was getting really worried.
Payne is convinced of one thing. Charlene and Lisa must have been kidnapped by a known offender. What he doesn't yet realize is just how long the registered offender list actually is. Even when limited to East Sussex alone, the scale of the task is overwhelming. Interviewing every individual on that list would take more than 3 months. Payne simply doesn't have that kind of time.
With the passage of time, 3 days now, it has to be said that the chances of us finding them alive and well are diminished. So by Friday, nothing's changed. We've got no further information. I recall I was quite downbeat.
After 3 days, the pressure reaches a breaking point. Even the military steps in to support the search. Despite the scale of the operation, Payne comes to a troubling conclusion. Since nobody has actually seen Charlene or Lisa, it can only mean one thing. Someone is keeping them hidden somewhere. A theory Charlene's father, Keith, is also convinced of.
She hates the dark and she hates cold weather and the rain. My theory is that she's at someone's house. She's got to be in somewhere that's safe and warm.
If you're right, if they are in somebody's house and somebody's obviously looking after them, what do you say to that person?
I say to that person, please send them home. Please send them home soon, because this is, it's not helping them and it's certainly not helping the family.
Keith hasn't slept in 3 days. His appearance begins to show signs of extreme exhaustion and stress. On top of his daughter's kidnapping, the media has recently uncovered details about his past. Charlene's mother didn't just die of an overdose. Keith himself had struggled with addiction. Years earlier, he had also been involved in several robberies. Tabloids threatened to reveal these details to the public, attempting to damage his reputation and sensationalize the narrative instead of focusing on finding the missing girls. Back at the station, Detective Payne pays no attention to the tabloid rumors, but narrowing down a suspect remains overwhelming. As a result, Payne's team contacts the Eastbourne Child Protection Team for support. However, the team is already occupied with an ongoing investigation involving a suspicious man repeatedly spotted stalking children near a schoolyard. Unbeknownst to Payne, this single conversation will change the course of his career and uncover the truth about what really happened to the 2 missing girls on the morning of January 19th. With Charlene and Lisa's lives on the line, police need to act fast. And the only people capable of stopping the kidnapper are the girls themselves before it's too late.
2 young girls have been found out of Hastings.
It's almost just too unbelievable to believe.
After 3 days and 3 nights away from home, Charlene Lunnan reunited with her parents.
I'm Charlene Lunnan. This is my story.
January 19th, 1999 starts as a morning like any other. Charlene kisses her father, Keith, goodbye, steps outside to meet her friend Lisa, and the two walk to school together.
We wanted to have a bit of independence, and we've decided to walk the different way down a one-way street. And I've nudged her out of the way because she was about to tread on rubbish that was on the floor. She's stepped out in front of a car with a man driving, and then the man has pulled up a little bit further up the road.
As the car comes to a stop, both girls feel guilty for almost causing an accident. The man gets out of the car, and the girls immediately approach him to apologize.
He seemed really relieved that he'd not hit us, and he put his arms around us and said, "I'm really glad that you're okay." For the first second, I wasn't worried. I did honestly think that he was just a friendly, older man.
But then the man's grip tightens around their shoulders. Instinctively, both girls know something is wrong. In a sudden burst of force, he grabs Lisa and throws her into the trunk of his car.
You get taught all stranger danger, and that goes out the window, and I literally froze and just got in the car. I didn't want to leave Lisa. I just felt too scared to react. He literally just closed it, got in the car and started driving.
Charlene and Lisa are now trapped, confused and terrified, with no idea where they're being taken. After a long drive, the car finally stops. The man blindfolds them, pulls them out of the car, and walks them inside a building. They hear a door close behind them. When the blindfolds are removed, the girls find themselves inside a filthy apartment. Trash covers the floor. Cigarette stains coat the walls. The man quickly ties their hands and ankles so they can't escape. Soon after, he drags Charlene into another room, leaving Lisa alone on the sofa. At just 10 years old, Lisa doesn't fully understand what's happening. But when Charlene returns with tears in her eyes, and the man tells Lisa it's her turn, the reality sinks in. The man forces the girls to watch television coverage of the police investigation into their disappearance.
It was difficult seeing our families on the news, but at the same time, it was the only little bit of hope we had.
At this point, police are being overwhelmed with misleading tips and false sightings.
They were seen on a bus, and there are 2 other sightings of them on a train.
The fact that we've had 3 independent sightings, and that of course gives us the great hope that they are out there alive and well.
Meanwhile, the man tells the girls their parents have abandoned them, that he will be the one taking care of them from now on. Charlene cannot accept that. No matter what, she knows she has to find a way out.
She has to find a way out.
He didn't leave us alone often, but the one time that he did go and get in the shower, we started looking in the kitchen.
The 2 girls search through kitchen drawers, desperately looking for something they can use to defend themselves. But the man has already removed all the silverware.
There was nothing that we could use to protect ourselves.
Just as they're about to give up, Charlene notices something buried beneath a pile of trash. It's addressed to Alan Hopkinson. For the first time, the girls now know the name of the man holding them and where they are being kept.
We was only in Eastbourne. We wasn't far from Hastings. We're not even far from home. So it gave me a little bit of hope, thinking we might get found. And I memorised his whole address, including his postcode.
Suddenly, the girls hear Alan pulling open the shower curtain. He's coming out. They rush back to the sofa. The door opens behind them, using every ounce of courage they have left. They keep their eyes locked on the television, bodies tense, doing everything they can to pretend nothing has changed. It's January 21st. Charlene is alone, tied up in the living room, while Lisa is with Alan. As Charlene silently plans their escape, a familiar voice suddenly fills the room. It's her father.
I remember seeing the pill, and I could see in my dad's eyes that he was begging for me to come home, and I could see how hurt he was.
My theory is that she's at someone's house. She's got.
But at the same time, I could sort of see that he believed that I wasn't alive. That is what I could feel.
Now it's the night of January 21st. The girls have been trapped with Alan for almost 3 days when, out of the blue, he tells them it's finally time to go home. The best friends look at each other in disbelief. Charlene feels like she's dreaming as a wave of relief and excitement washes over her. She's going to see her dad again. Alan leads the girls outside and forces them into the trunk of his car. Narrator: after an hour, the car stops. Charlene already knows something is wrong. The drive to Hastings should have been much shorter. When Alan turns off the engine, the girls hear seagulls calling and waves crashing. As Alan pulls the girls from the trunk, Charlene and Lisa realize he's taken them to a steep cliffside, an hour away from their home. Alan grabs the girls by the arms and drags them toward the edge. Charlene doesn't understand what's happening. Then, in one continuous motion, Alan grips Charlene by the collar and leans her over the edge of the cliff.
Come to the end, and maybe he was done with us, and now he needed to get rid of us.
Charlene doesn't see her life flash before her eyes. Instead, she feels almost relieved. Anything to escape the nightmare she's been living through for the last few days.
And then, within seconds, he's pulled me forward and said, "I want you for one more day."
Back at Alan's apartment, the girls are terrified. He's just tried to kill them, and something in him has shifted. He's more agitated now, pacing back and forth, yelling at the girls and refusing to let them sleep.
By that point, he was pure evil. And to be honest, I'd sort of given up hope on that day, and I thought, this is going to be it. We're going to get murdered.
When morning comes, the tense silence is suddenly shattered by a knock on the door. The girls freeze. Alan doesn't move to answer it.
I was sitting on the bed, tied up, when I heard the knock at the door.
Then there's another knock.
And then they'd said that it was the police.
Charlene and Lisa look at each other, smiling ear to ear and barely able to believe it. Does this mean they're finally saved? Alan immediately
Charlene and Lisa look at each other, smiling ear to ear, barely able to believe it. Could this finally mean they're saved? Alan immediately tells the girls to stay quiet and not move, but the officer keeps knocking. Charlene watches as Alan's composure begins to slip. He paces the entryway, swearing to himself, yet still doesn't answer the door. Minutes pass. The girls worry the officer might leave.
He knew somebody was in the flat, but he wasn't going to go away until the door was open.
Slowly, Alan turns the key in the lock and opens the door. The girls remain hidden, huddled out of sight in the living room, too scared to make a sound. As the officer speaks to Alan, it becomes clear he's not there about the missing girls. He's investigating stalking complaints involving children at a nearby primary school. The officer asks Alan to come down to the station for questioning. Alan grabs his wallet and jacket and starts walking toward the door. The officer still has no idea Charlene and Lisa are trapped inside. Then, almost as an afterthought, Alan suddenly says, "The officer is stunned." This visit was meant to be the Eastbourne Child Protection Team's final task before joining Detective Payne's investigation into Charlene and Lisa's disappearance. Unbeknownst to anyone, both teams were hunting the same man, Alan Hopkinson.
A male police officer come into the room with a massive smile on his face, and he literally said, "We've been looking for you two." And we was just so happy.
When the girls step outside, the sunlight hits them with blinding intensity after 3 days locked inside the dark apartment. News that the girls have been found alive spreads like wildfire across the media and the public. But Detective Payne makes sure their parents hear the news first.
We have had a very positive line of inquiry. 2 young girls have been found out of Hastings. A man is in custody.
It was just absolutely amazing to find them in those circumstances. We'd found the girls, and the rest is history.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling over the moon. I'm really chuffed. Well, I heard about 2 minutes ago, he just said that basically 2 girls are found in Eastbourne and a man's been arrested. But basically, yeah, it's been confirmed that it is Charlene and Lisa. And we're really chuffed, really over the moon. It's the greatest news. Kids don't come back when they've been abducted. It's as simple as that. So I was amazed.
I'd never experienced anything like it. It was crazy. I couldn't get out of the police car without all these reporters around me. And I remember that my dad ran up to me, and he wasn't a cuddly sort of man, but the first thing he done was run up to me. He grabbed me so tight, and it was just such a relief.
Back at Hopkinson's apartment, police uncover disturbing evidence that reveals just how dangerous he truly was.
At the block of flats in Eastbourne, where the girls were found by a police officer, a forensic team has now finished its detailed examination of the...
Concerning was there were images of children. There was notebook. They would have the class details with the names.
There was like maps of schools.
Charlene and Lisa were brought into the police station to speak directly with Detective Payne. They explained everything, how they were taken, what happened inside Hopkinson's apartment, and the terrifying moment at the cliff. They were only 10 years old. Yet despite their age, the 2 girls described the events in detail. Even though reliving it was unimaginably difficult, there was a lot at stake.
What that man did to them was hideous and unforgivable, but they're alive.
It was last night that the detective superintendent who coordinated the massive search for the girls confirmed that the man from Eastbourne, who'd been detained for over 32 hours, had been charged.
Alan Edward Hopkinson, 45 years, was charged with 10 offences, including kidnapping, false imprisonment and abduction, and other charges relating to serious assaults.
It was the following night when the detective superintendent who coordinated the massive search confirmed the
He
news.
wishes to make it clear that he's very sorry about what happened to the little girls, and he does hope that they can put matters behind them, given the course of time. And he's also asked me to say that he wishes that he himself could put the clock back.
In a weird way, I felt like he was playing mind games still even after, because it was like we had to be grateful that we weren't going through a court case.
On May 28th, Keith dropped Charlene off at home. Then he headed to the sentencing hearing. He wanted to see the face of the man who had taken his daughter. When the verdict was read, the courtroom fell silent. 9 life sentences. Keith felt relief. So did Detective Payne, who addressed the media one final time before closing the case.
He is a horrendously dangerous man, and he should never, ever be released into society unless we can be totally satisfied that he wouldn't reoffend again. And as I say, I suspect that will never happen.
Once he got sentenced, that was it for me. I was so grateful to just be home that I just thought, well, he's never going to affect me, he's never going to come near me again, so I'm not going to let him win.
Public outrage following the case led to a major change in UK school policies. In Charlene and Lisa's case, valuable time had been lost when their disappearance went unreported by the school for more than 8 hours. As a direct result of what happened, schools were required to act immediately. Teachers must now notify parents right away if a child is absent. After returning home, the press aired a public reunion with Charlene and Lisa, alongside both of their families. The entire nation watched. People wanted to know if the girls were okay after everything they had endured.
The first time we saw each other, we just held each other, and we was just so glad that we've done this and we've overcome it, and we're here and we're alive and we're back where we should be.
Lisa, what was the first thing you did when you saw your parents?
I went over and cuddled them so much.
What did you miss the most?
And all my friends and my boyfriend.
Yeah.
What's your boyfriend's name?
Stevie.
Stevie, that was her boyfriend at the time, Stevie. And my face is like, that she'd mentioned that she missed their boyfriend.
As the girls grew older, they began to drift apart. Sharing that level of trauma wasn't easy. But with time, the 2 survivors found their way back to one another. Eventually, they wrote a book together to tell their story and reclaim their voices.
I just always know that no matter what, we will always have that special bond. She's got a special place in my heart forever. I do get the option to write to the parole board and give my opinion on how I'm feeling, how life's going, but I choose not to because he will get to read whatever I write, and I don't want any communication with him. He will think that he is still in my head, and he's not. He doesn't have any time in my brain. He doesn't take up my life. It's made me very appreciative of life, but I'm really proud. I'm really proud of who I am. I'm really proud of the story. I'm proud that I was found. I'm proud that I'm alive. Don't let bad things ruin your whole life.